All right, let's do a walk around video of my new bike. So 2017 TW200 has 940 miles on it when I bought it. It has roughly 960 on it now. Basically, all I've done so far is drive it home. Let's do a walk around, starting with this huge dent. Huge elephant in a room here. So he told me it was done by the previous owner. A man bought it for his daughter to learn how to ride, and she dumped it or hit something and wrecked it. So I've got to save this tank's paint, I'm going to have to do something here just to keep it from rusting and chipping, getting worse. As you can see moving down, the bike is really dirty. I mean, the guy didn't clean it at all, man. I mean, I got it, it's a dual sport, but to be a 2017, I'm thinking he just never cleaned it, Checked the oil, it looked pretty clean. The screws have been, broken here, a little bit of scuff there, so hopefully he changed the filter. He put a skid plate on it, that's nice. Got some aftermarket foot pegs, S&S. I don't really know what that brand is, but so we've got some foot pegs. I've got this fender here, this cheap aftermarket fender. Plastic. I don't know, I may take that off, put an OEM one on there. You can tell he used to have some bark busters on here. Took those off. Something's going on with this exhaust. So going down the road is pushing out some oil, I guess, or something out of this exhaust. So he told me he drilled it out to give it a little more sound and rejetted it. It sounds fine, but the backfire and everything's okay, but it's pushing out some stuff here, so I got to look into that. I may just go with a DG or an FMF, or I may just put an OEM one on there just to, because I really don't want a loud exhaust, but I may go with the DGs just because I understand it. They have a lot of inserts you can choose from. Aftermarket brake lights, actually pretty good. I don't know what kind it is. I have a Yoshimura on mine, and it's not very good, honestly. But this one's actually really bright. I'm pretty impressed with that, how bright this one is. The indicators are fine. He actually did a pretty good job wiring this up. It's not sloppy or anything, so pretty good there. Stock tire. The chain is pretty gross, man. Look at this. I don't think he ever cleaned it, or just maybe didn't know how to clean. He probably just thought, just throw some more WD-40 on there, which you got to brush this off, clean it off. So that needs to be cleaned up. Missing the screw here for the chain slider. I don't know if you can see that. I got to figure out what that is, because that's just, I don't know if I should even drive it until I get that fixed, because that slider is just moving around willy-nilly. The foot peg here is bent. I don't know how well you can tell, but it's like a 30-degree angle, so it needs to come back some. So first things first, I'm going to take the skid plate off, clean the bike up real well, change the fluids, adjust the rear brake, figure out what's going on there, fix that bent foot peg, clean the chain for God's sakes, figure out what's going on with the exhaust, adjust the clutch. I think we're ready to go. I'll tell you real quickly what I paid for it. So he was asking for, again, 2017, 940 miles on it. He was asking for $3,350. Okay, $3,350 is what he's asking for it. So I met him, drove it. It drove fine, and then other than the cosmetic things, there was nothing really, truthfully, horrendously wrong with the bike other than the huge dent in between, right? So my first offer him $2,500. That was my low ball offer, right? He's asking $3,350. I low balled him. I offered him $25. But I told him, I was like, the reason I'm offering this low offer is because, one, the bike is dirty, right? You didn't even clean the chain, right? I mean, and then we got some adjustment issues with the brakes and the clutch, and you know, the bike's just dirty, you know. You combine that with the fact that you got an aftermarket front fender and a dent in the tank. I was like, did you wreck the bike? Was the bike wrecked? You know? He's like, no. You know, I put the fender on there. It already had the dent in the tank when I bought it. I checked the forks, you know, I drove it, so I don't think it was wrecked. It has a clean title, that kind of stuff. I said, okay, man, well, you know, $2,500 is kind of where I'm at with my price. And he says, well, I've already had an offer of $2,900. Okay, may or may not be true, right? He could be just saying that because he really, you know, my thinking, you know, somebody prices at 33, 34, he's looking to get 3,000 out of it, right? So he might have just said 29 just to kind of say, because he's trying to get back up to 3, right? And I don't know the truth. He may have a real offer. You know, these TWs, at least in the Atlanta area, I mean, if they're selling used for $3,000, especially 2017 with less than 1,000 miles, I mean, they're going quick, man, even with a huge dent in the tank, right? Because the dent in the tank really didn't, it wasn't a deal breaker by no means to me, because I was thinking I was going to put a Clark aftermarket tank on there anyway, so I was just using it as a negotiating tactic, right? So, offered 25, he came back with 29, he's like, I already have an offer of 29, so I was like, well, I thought for a minute, you know, and I said, well, my top's going to be 27, so I'll offer you 27. He's like, you know, he's like, I don't know, I'm going to have to think on that. I'm like, think on it? He's like, yeah, man. He's like, I got your number. I'll think over the weekend. This is like a Friday evening. He said, I'll let you know. I'm sitting there thinking, dude, you know, if I walk away with my money in my pocket, I'm not going to see you again. You either sell it to some other guy or, you know, either way. So my buddy, my buddy Doug, he's been around motorcycles for 40, 50 years. I brought him with me, right, to kind of help me have a second set of eyes on it. And he knows how to work on his own bikes. Doug has like 22 bikes. So he knows his way around bikes, especially carburetors and stuff. So Doug pulled me aside. I said, what do you think, man? He's like, well, you know, do you want the bike? I said, yeah, I want it, but, you know, it's got some issues. It's, you know, it's dirty for him. You know, it hasn't been taken care of. Initially, I'm really turned off by machinery that's, you know, things that have been taken care of. You know, I'm usually really turned off by that kind of stuff. So I like to have it, but I'm not going to pay him anywhere what he wants for it. He said, well, you're only off with $200 with this guy. You know, if you want the bike, $200 is really not a big deal, left and right. I was like, well, you know, and honestly, I was at that point, I was ready to walk, honestly, because the guy was, I mean, you know, well, let me think about it at $2,900. Come on, man, we're here to make a deal, either yes or no, you know, let's think about it, shit is over with. We already both took time off to what we were doing to meet today. So I went back to him, I was like, listen, dude, meet me in the middle. You're at 29, I'm 27, $2,800. He's like, I don't know, man. I said, look at it this way, bro. You don't have to do this anymore. You don't have to meet anybody and deal with Craigslist emails and calls and shit like that. I said, you can just be done with this. He's like, you know what? You're right. I'm getting some weird calls. He's like, sold. So bought the bike, $2,800. So what do you think? You know, do you think I did good? 2017 TW200, 940 miles, $2,800, even with the cosmetic issues. Anyway, if you're new to my channel, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Cheers.